For tourists delighted by all the wildlife, it must seem that water in the Rocky Mountains is unlimited. No wonder animals are abundant. Water is everywhere. But of course, at lower elevations where all the water is headed, it's a different world.
It's dry. We are, just above desert levels of moisture. Some of the valley bottoms only get 8 inches of precipitation a year.
So thank goodness for snowpack, and on the valley floors, for floodplains. Floodplains are the lands adjacent to rivers and streams, vital to a huge percentage of the birds and animals in the arid West.
Both in terms of diversity as well as just production. So much grows here because this is where the water's at. They're a relatively small part of the state, but they represent a really large proportion of the available habitat for birds in Montana.
Floodplains throughout the country are not what they used to be. It's a big challenge to our future. Healthy floodplains often have meandering rivers that form multiple channels and spill over their banks frequently. Today, many of Montana's floodplains are narrow, with fewer trees and faster water.
Why? Right in the 1950s, what were we into in this part of the world?
Stream straightening.
Oh yeah, right? We want that water going down valley as fast as we can get it down valley.
The idea was to protect communities and farms from flooding. But in reality, as we straightened rivers and started building in the floodplain, we increased the risk of more severe flooding.
When the river is confined in a gully, essentially, and it can't get out and onto its floodplain, it just goes through faster and faster, and it can't slow itself down. And when it does finally run into a stream bank or a community, it has so much power that it is really destructive.
On the Ruby River, the Nature Conservancy undertook an ambitious project to restore 2 miles of the river, releasing the Ruby from its straightened channel, reconnecting it to sweeping bends, spreading the river out.
Getting that water up onto the floodplain and soaking into the ground so that it can come back in cooler and when we need it more later in the summer.
Volunteers helping strengthen and shade the newly formed banks know they've made the Ruby Valley healthier. But even more, they know this project is demonstrating that in river valleys all across Montana, flood risks to homes and communities can be reduced, and benefits for people, wildlife, and fish can be restored.
What we need to understand is that floodplains are for flooding. Allowing floodplains to be in their natural system is really, really important. When we're allowing that to happen and we're slowing the water down, we're improving the water quality, the habitat. We're also reducing the impacts of flooding downstream.
These banks are sloped so the water ramps up on top, and then we have all that brush and wood that slows down the water, traps out the sediment, cleans out the water.
It's early, but it appears to be working. Here, the Ruby's floodplain is again collecting sediment. Instead of choking fish, it's producing new generations of cottonwoods and willows.